I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Villa Park Village Board on January 8th at 7 p.m. Clerk Kornecki, will you please call the roll?
Is Trustee Aiello? Trustee Kazone?
Here.
Trustee Case?
Here.
Trustee Tucker?
Here.
Trustee Wagner?
Here.
Trustee Silella?
Here.
President Wolfus?
Here. So all rise for the pledge, please. And after the pledge, please remain standing. Your Trustee Wagner will lead us in a prayer.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So please remain standing for a moment. Trustee Wagner will lead us with a prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that might affect the residents, staff, businesses, surrounding communities, and all those that enter the village of Villa Park. And continue to remind us that all we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is public comments on agenda items. That'll be on the printed agendas, anything from item number 7 through 13. Clerk Kornecki, does anybody sign up for the agenda items?
I have no one for the agenda, on the agenda items. Okay.
All right, then we'll move on to amendments to the agenda. I have a couple that I'd like to request. Item number 6, the DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau. They're not able to attend, so we'd like to remove that. Also, item number 19, executive session. It's not necessary tonight, so I'd like to remove that. And on item number 13, the dates on the Cable Commission serving reads 1/8/2017. That first date should read 1/8/2018. Do you have a motion? Trustee Kazone?
Madam, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. President, I'd like to make that motion to make those changes.
Do you have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Trustee Wagner? Any questions or comments? No, seeing none, roll call please.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Silella?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Wolfus?
Yes. We'll move on to item number 5, the dedication of the Great Western Trailhead Arch. The reason we're here today is to dedicate the Great Western Trailhead Arch to the Greco family and the Odium Export Center. And one of the questions you're probably all, how did we get here? What have we gone through to get to this position? And Director Fiola from the Community Economic Development Commission has a little presentation to bring you up to how we got to this point.
Maybe one up. Anyway,
There you go.
thank you. You know, I'm honored to recognize the men and the women and the companies who all graciously committed their time, their equipment, their talents, and their support to this monumental project, the Gateway to the Great Western Trail. This permanent enhancement to Villa Park is truly an example of a public-private partnership. P3, public-private partnership. I'm thrilled to share some of the highlights of this project with you, but first I want to share with you how this project came into being. When I started with Villa Park, there was a great pride in all the trails that went through the community, and as I got more familiar with the trails, I couldn't find the Great Western Trail. Everyone said it started right on Villa Avenue, yet I couldn't find it. It looked like an alley between two businesses. We were able then to budget some money to start minimizing the trees and cutting back the old brush in effort to find the trailhead. And I talked with a number of people, Public Works, who said, you know, there was a plan at one point that talked about doing a trailhead. In fact, it was the 2009 comprehensive plan. and they showed an area at the entrance to the Great Western and an arch. I thought, well, this is great. So with the support of the village board, we were able to put it into the budget to move a project forward. We hired Joe Gentile, our local surveyor, to find out exactly what property the county owned, because the Great Western Trail and the Prairie Path are actually owned by the county. So we have a survey to identify exactly where the property lines were. And then I spread the word and talked to a number of people about what we wanted to do. And lo and behold, Phil Greco said that he would like to get involved in helping design this project. So I work with DuPage County, closer to the mic, DuPage County, to let them know what we talked about doing. So with their support, we had the representatives from DuPage County come to the trailhead and work with us on approving the design. So luckily we have Chris Poggi with James Martin Associates in attendance with us tonight. Chris and her company graciously offered to do the site plan so that we could apply for permits with the county. Then the arch that was originally designed wasn't high enough for some of the equipment to go below. So I designed an arch that was kind of a series of a number of arches in the area. Went around, took pictures, and came up with a new higher design that incorporated a number of the features already in Villa Park. And then, luckily, we had Chris Poggi from James Martin Associates again providing the drawings so we could provide to submit to the county for permit. Once we submitted for permit, we then went out to lay it out, and once again we have Chris and Joe and a number of our contractors laying the site out so we can make sure that it works. And we had to get structural drawings for the arch for the permit, and Jeannie Pfeiffer from DeSimone stepped up and provided not only the full set of structural drawings for us, but also the structural calculations and specifications at no cost to the village. Chris Poggi also provided the rendering that we had in our Village Matters, where we let everyone know that the arch was being designed and looking for sponsors for the project. And Chris also, with James Martin, donated all of their time and efforts to providing the renderings and the site plans for the village also. I mentioned to Pioneer, who is directly adjacent to the arch, that we'd like to do this project and work with possibly some Eagle Scouts. And Ethan Rojek was an Eagle Scout looking for a project, so it was a perfect opportunity to work with him. They provided a flyer, and he made the rounds, came to a number of organizations, raised funds, and Rotary presented him with a check to help support his portion of the project. Max Heald, with also an Eagle Scout, handled the removal of the bushes closer to the trailhead and planted 3 new trees with his buddies. And I'm happy to say that we have 3 tree sponsors, some of which are here tonight. Kathy Smith with GM Smith, thank you, Kathy. The Villa Park Knights of Columbus, the Villa Park Juniors Women Club. Are there any people here from them?
You got one on the
Thank
doorway.
you. Yes, thank you so much. As we were continuing to raise funds, we were doing a lot of work behind the scenes in PEP Industries, and Bruce and Phil were intimately involved in helping me design the arch. Keep in mind, it's a 16-foot piece of steel and design that is all galvanized. It weighed over 800 pounds when we got finished with it, but designed it on the floor of PEP Industries. In the meantime, we finally got our permit from DuPage County so we can move full speed ahead with the construction of the arch. So together with Joe Mastachio with Big Time Construction, we did the footings, and once again, Phil was there every step of the way, overseeing the progress of the project. As we got the permit, the steel erection handled, this was in conjunction with our Public Works Department. So once again, a really great partnership between the private and the public working together to erect the steel columns. And then we had a hired electrician do the electrical work for us, working together once again fabulously with our other contractors. And Marty McCauley from McCauley Masonry did the masonry work up the columns, did a fabulous job on the brickwork. And still back at the PEP, we were designing the final finishes to the arch, deciding how to incorporate the letters on the top, because if you can only see them from one way, then you wouldn't be able to read it from the other way. So we made a number of enhancements to the arch, and when we finally put it all together, the day came to erect the arch. And I have to stop and tell you that at that time, we were in a quandary about who was actually going to be able to have some heavy equipment and be able to do the welding that was necessary for the meet structural specifications. So Phil and Bruce had mentioned that there's a bridge worker in Villa Park that may be possible to help us out. And I literally did a cold call to Julie over at Area Equipment, and Julie said they would love to help out with the arch. And so she and her brother and his team came and provided all the equipment and the welders, and at no cost to the village, did this fabulous installation. So I can't be more proud of the public-private partnership that we have with these great group of guys that came, and we finished right into the evening hours, and so happy of the wonderful people that we work together with here in Villa Park. So got the arch installed and had to put the lights up on top. Once again, it was a matter of Bruce, you're in the picture, and our Public Works Department and the electricians all working together to put the lights up on top of the arch. And Joe's crew came back and did the stamped concrete at the base, all following very similar to the original plan, because as part of that plan, this was taking a plan, dusting it off, and basically building it, years later. The Eagle Scouts came. Ethan Rojek did the installation of the benches, and Ethan's here today. And I'm happy to announce the bench sponsors with Demito's and Michael Anthony's, Chris Poggi with James Martin Associates, and the Rotary Club of Villa Park. Couldn't do it without these wonderful organizations and companies. So we have a finished project. As you notice, we have some plaques, and the plaques are going to be installed at a dedication ceremony at the Arch on this Wednesday at 12 noon. So the dedication of the Arch, and together with the Greco family. We have all of the donors of the Arch on the plaques, and I can't tell you how truly this was a P3 project, a public-private partnership. Couldn't have done it without the help of everyone else, and very, very happy of how everything turned out. So with that, I'm very proud of the workers and the people and the Grecos and everyone that made this project come true. So thank you all very much.
As you can tell, this was a big project, took quite a bit of time. I think Jan was working at it for how many years? 4 years? So we really have to thank her for that. But we're here especially tonight to...
Can you speak up, please?
Oh, I'm trying. Is that better? The loudest? Well, this mic works on the TV. I'm sorry. I'll try to talk louder. Okay. but we're here tonight to recognize the donors who spent their time and their money to make this possible. And it's a great example, like Jan said, on how wonderful it works when we have a community of businesses and residents who are willing to work together with the village to make something happen. It's really a beautiful arch, and you'll take a look at it. It really enhances the area. So I would like to start with recognizing some of the donors who had spent a lot of time and a lot of their fortune into this project. And so I'll go through that right now. And if when I call your names out, I don't know if everybody's here, but if you are, please come on up here. We have a little plaque to give you, so to show our appreciation. So Joe from Big Time Construction, Masaccioli, is it?
Yes, Masaccio.
Masaccio, thank you very much for your And from there, we'll go to Chris Poggi with James Martin and Associates. We did a lot of work in design on that, so that's really, really appreciated. And then from I got more pens here, I don't know what to do with. And then the Rotary Club, Tony Feliciano. Did I say that right? And then we'll go, let's see who I got here next. Gina and Roland Nicholson. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. And then we also have your grandson, I believe it was, right? Tommy. Tom Higginson from Plain White Tees is here, and we thank him for his generous donation and art. Thank you very much. Was it? There you go. All right. And from there, we'll go to Joe Montgomery from MGA Insurers. Joe here? No. Okay. And then we have the Scouts, the Eagle Scouts, Mattel, for all your work with that. And we also have Ethan Rojak for the Right, and then let's see, we got this D. Simone Consultants. We have Jeanette Helfer. Piper? I'm sorry. And let's see here. We have Bruce Campbell from PEP Industries. And we have the aerial equipment, the Francisco family. And then from the Village of Villa Park, we have Jan Fiola, Director. We thank her without Jan starting this, I don't know if we would have got this going. So thank you very much, Jan. It was a lot of hard work, so appreciate it. And then we have Phil Greco. I don't know if you noticed on all the pictures you saw up there, a lot of them, Phil was in there. He was involved from the very beginning on this project, and we thank him very much. So let's all give them all another round of applause. Okay. We need some more photos? Okay. Maybe we can squeeze in a little bit? Yeah, sure, to me.
We could actually.
Want to break it up?
I have a really wide fish egg.
Okay.
So can I get some folks on the riser behind you there?
Will do.
Appreciate it, crazy. Thank you. Sorry to be
It's a pretty good idea. Yeah, it works out.
Are they blocking you enough, Rich, you know, in the picture? Are they blocking you enough? You have to duck down.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, another thing we're here to especially dedicate this arch, like I mentioned, to on the Great Western Trail, to the Greco family and the Odeum, for all the things that they've done for the village of Villa Park. Not just on this arch, but for the many years. I believe the Odeum started construction back in the 70s and opened officially in, I think, November of '81. So. And I'm sure that was a rather exciting time for you and your family and your mom and your dad, Emo. So, and I understand you guys, the whole family worked together on this project. So when you get a project like this, it's generally a family affair. So, but you know, as I mentioned though, it was built by Emo and his wife Phyllis, with the help of the 3 children. I believe there's 3, right? 4? Oh, I left one off. So, okay, 4 children. I won't read the names then, because I'm sure it was. The family has always been involved in our community, to the extent that the employees are also encouraged to join different community clubs and organizations. For example, the Chamber of Commerce, I know you've been involved with that for many years, Lions Club, just to name a few. I just want to give you a little background. I met Phil a number of years ago when we both were on the Economic Development Commission, and that's when I first knew him. You know, I lived in the town shortly after the Odeum opened. I moved in, and I never really knew about who owned the Odeum and their family. So, and I found out real quick how important the Greco family and the Odeum are to our village. Whenever there was a need or job to be done, Phil was always there to say, I can do that. I can help. We needed tables or chairs, I can do that. You need tables, I can do that. You need a sound system, I can do that. Not just supplying the tables and chairs, but supplying the manpower that went along with it. So it's really humbling to know that whenever you needed something, I know it wasn't just the village, it was the Chamber of Commerce. Looks like it was the District 45, the school district, or probably 88. So whatever you needed, Phil and the Greco family were there. When we thought about building the arch on the Great Western Trail, whatever we could do to make Villa Park look better, who was there? Phil, Pep Industries, for the time that they put into it. We really appreciate it. So I thought it was no more than right that we take some time off tonight here at our regular board meeting to dedicate that arch to the Greco family. I can't say how much we appreciate that as a village for your work. And with that, I think we ought to recognize the whole family. So I thought I'd like to have the whole family come up here. Let me read your names off. Okay. Patrick Greco Jr. Is he here? Yeah, he's back there. Come on up. Come on up. Make your way through. Okay. Well, he's coming through. We got a Carly. Okay. We have Jordan and Blake Lacar. So you can bring them up. Bring them up. We got Patrick Greco. Renee Greco. And we got Phil up here, but we still need Kathy. Yeah. And Mom's here. She's down here. Phyllis is here too. So maybe you can. And then we have Francine Greco Campbell. So this is the Greco family who's been involved in Villa Park for many years. And we thank them for that. And we dedicate this arch to their family and to the Odeum. Thank you very much.
Crowd it on the 10 seconds and get on with the
Gentlemen up in front, could you just duck down once?
Big construction.
Joe, that's Joe.
Alicia, you need to get everybody thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Very good. That was not easy.
Yeah, no problem. You too.
Here, give me that.
Houses up for sale in Villa Park. Is that unusual? It's typical.
Thank you. It's the fourth one. I was at.
Oh my God.
Because I just happened to pull it up and I'm like,
Unfortunately.
there's a lot of houses right by Western Washington that are a surprise. Princeton, Yale. No, that are up for sale. They're just off of Washington. I'm like, we got a flood thing going in there that I don't know about. It's like from Princeton, Harvard, all the numbers are just right by Washington Street. It's like, have we got a pattern going here or what?
We don't like a greenway.
Maybe that's it. Okay. It was just kind of, and maybe that's just what it is.
All right.
Coincidence. But it just seemed like, okay, those are
We'll
all
proceed
right by
on to next agenda item. Item number 7, the consent agenda. The minutes from the board meeting of December 11th, 2017. The bill listing from the week of December 11th, December 18th, December 26th of 2017, in the total amount of $2,014,709.80. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda? Trustee Seela? Yep. And second? Trustee Case?
Yes.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Kazone,
Yes.
Trustee Wagner,
Yes.
Trustee Tucker,
Yes.
Trustee Aiello,
Yes.
Trustee Case,
Yes.
Trustee Silella.
Yes.
President Wolfus.
Yes. Item number 8, first reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, clarifying and amending the number of liquor licenses. Manager Keenan.
Thank you, Your Honor. In 2017, a Scrivener's error was discovered for the 2018 renewals. 2 liquor license holders did not renew their licenses. In order to correct the Scrivener's error and to remove the now unused liquor licenses, this ordinance will clarify and correct the quantities of all 2018 liquor license classes and issue 1 new license. The changes include the removal of 2 license holders that did not renew, Picante Wings and Victoria's, and issue a new Class I license for Monte Casino. Thank you, Your Honor.
Seeing that this is a first reading, it's just for discussion purposes, so if anybody from the board has any questions or comments, we'll entertain those.
I do have a
Trustee
question.
Tucker.
The numbers that I noticed jumped quite a bit. Did we miss some other license besides the 2 that were removed?
I don't,
Because
I
they
don't
jumped from
believe so.
52 to 59.
well,
From
got
from November to January, so I was just wondering if there's
Manager
something
Keenan.
overlooked.
In attempt to, thank you, Your Honor. In attempt to correct the Scrivener's error, the code corporation that updates the municipal code made changes which made it worse, and so that's why we're doing it now. So what you see now in today's attachment to the ordinance is the correct number of licenses in all categories, including, and if you read, I'm sure you have read the memo that came with the attachments. It talks about the license for Buc-ee's, talks about Monte Casino, and the one new license that was issued on St. Charles near the dentist's office, things of that nature. So the ordinance tonight that we all have is the correct amount of liquor licenses, including Monte Casino, going forward into 2018. Thank you, Your Honor.
any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to the next item. This will be on our agenda for a second reading in 2 weeks. Okay, item number 9, second reading of second and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the Villa Park Municipal Code relating to sexual harassment policy. Manager Keenan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Public Act 100-0554, which was signed into law by Governor Rauner in November 2017, requires local governments to take formal action to adopt sexual harassment policies. The village has policy written on the subject in its employee handbook. However, PA 100-0554 also requires updates to the village's municipal code, which are included within the ordinance. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do I have a motion for the second and final reading?
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay. Trustee Aiello, second.
So moved.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Silella,
Yes.
Trustee Kazone,
Yes.
Trustee Tucker,
Yes.
Trustee Case,
Yes.
Trustee Silella, I'm sorry, Trustee Wagner,
Yes.
Trustee Aiello,
Yes.
President Wolfus.
Yes. Item 10, ordinance authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds, sales tax alternative revenue source, Series 2018A of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $6,250,000 for certain village-wide public infrastructure projects, including but not limited to stormwater drainage improvements in connection with the Jackson Pond Improvement Project, the Astor Court Myrtle Avenue Improvement Project, and a portion of the Michigan Ave Improvement Project, Madison Street to Jackson Street within the village. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. With the passage of the library bond and the village 0.5% non-home rule sales tax referenda in April 2017, it is now time to begin issuing the second series of stormwater and library bonds. This authorizing ordinance will start the process for issuing alternate revenue bonds for stormwater improvements. We are planning to have the Bond Issue Notification Act hearing on Monday, January 22nd, 2018, and will consider adoption of the final bond ordinances on February 12th, closing on February 27th. We have engaged the entire bond team, Spear Financial as village financial advisors, Miller Canfield as bond counsel, and George K. Baum as underwriters. The bond team has been working with village and library staff to plan a successful bond sale. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do I have a motion for the ordinance? Trustee Kazone?
Mr. President, I'd like to make that motion.
Trustee Case?
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Tucker?
I have a question. Do we have a breakdown of, for the 65, and what's going to be in what order for money-wise somewhere?
Yeah. That's a breakdown of the money-wise. You mean how many bonds we're going to issue
No,
at a
about
time?
what's going to be used on which area, like the stormwater drain improvement, what's going to be used for the somewhere is there a list of where that breakdown will be used once the bonds are approved?
Be on a project schedule, right? So I don't have that information here in front of me. So, Manager Keener, you
Thank you, Your Honor. Trustee Tucker, that's a very good question. Staff and the Public Works Department has the engineer's estimates that we believe will be for the project. Of course, in any of these type of projects from Public Works or any projects that require bidding, the final amount will come through a bid, which will be approved by this body before construction. So what we have is estimates, and we'll be happy to make sure that Public Works gets those to you and the rest of the board.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Trustee Salella?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
President Bolfus?
Yes. Item 11, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing final change order number 1 to the contract between the village and A-Lamp Concrete Contractors Incorporated for the 2017 Bierman Ave Combined Sewer Separation Project for a deduction in the amount of $95,596.83. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The village has a contract with A-Lamp Concrete Contractors, Inc. of Schaumburg, Illinois, for the 2017 Bierman Avenue Combined Sewer Separation Project. Proposed final change order number 1 consists of the final balancing of contract quantities as measured in the field. The net amount of proposed final change order number 1 is a deduction of $95,569.83 for an adjusted final contract amount of $333,866.42. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do I have a motion for a resolution?
Make a motion.
Trustee Sayala?
I'll second that motion.
Trustee Wagner? Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Salella?
Yes.
President Bolfus?
Yes. Item 12, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing an engineering service agreement between the Village of Villa Park and Christopher B. Burke Engineering Limited for the 2018 street improvement project in an amount not to exceed $81,680. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The village proposes the 4th year of road and parking lot improvements, referendum and non-referendum funding. Christopher B. Burke Engineering has submitted a proposal for the Phase 2 design engineering services in an amount not to exceed $81,680. The proposed list of improvements includes Bierman Avenue from St. Charles Road to Division Street, Euclid Avenue from St. Charles Road to Division Street, Holly Court from Westmore Avenue to Addison Road, 2nd Avenue from St. Charles Road to Division Street, the parking lot adjacent to the Public Works Department, the remaining west portion of the Sugar Creek Golf Course parking lot, and the north parking lot and entrance for Fire Station 81. Funds will be taken from the Street Improvement Fund, bond and non-bond, water and wastewater funds respectively. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you have a motion for the resolution?
President
Trustee
Colfitz,
Wagner?
I'd like to make that motion.
Trustee Allo?
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Salella?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
President Bolkus?
Yes. Item 13, appointments to boards and commissions. The only one on here is the Cable TV Commission, Matt Kassane, for the corrected date of 1/8/2018 through 4/30/2021. Do I have a motion for the appointment? Trustee Case?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Trustee Ciela. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Tucker?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Salella?
Yes.
President Bolkus?
Yes. Item number 14 is public comments on non-agenda items. I see we have a lot of people here tonight. Probably most of you are on the same issue. And if possible, could we have 3 minutes allotted for anybody who wants to speak. If we hear the same thing over all the time, we're going to be here, all of us are going to be here all night. So if you agree with some prior speaker said, you can just come up to the microphone, state your name, and say you agree what's been said so far. That would be helpful. So you have 3 minutes, and we'll give it a go. Trustee Clerk Kornecki, you have some names.
Right. The first one I have is Tom King.
My name is Stephen Thomas King, and I live at 546 South Ardmore Avenue. Lufkin Pool has been a community landmark in Villa Park for well over 60 years and is the main focal recreational facility in the southern Villa Park community. Over the last 10 years, 16,000 people per year average have visited Lufkin Pool, which is more than half the population of Villa Park. 16,000 people is greater than the number of patrons that visited Jefferson Pool, which averaged about 13,000 people per year. It serves as a recreational gathering place for village families. It is one of the first landmarks someone notices when they enter Villa Park off Roosevelt Road, and serves as a source of employment and job training for young teens in our community. I understand the future motivation of this board is to build a village recreational center that is currently at most an aspirational concept. The scope of services within the recreational center are not defined, the location has yet to be identified, and there's no current financial plan for the project. Data through focus groups and village surveys still need to be collected to fully define the scope of services and amenities in the recreational center. Additionally, funding for the project will be challenging because the village has maximized its borrowing capacity due to the library and road referendums that are bonds that are currently out. It is in the best interest of our community to keep Lufkin Pool open. By closing Lufkin Pool, we lose considerable value in our community. Lufkin Pool is a village landmark, an important amenity for our children and families, and a source of employment for our young teens. Save Lufkin Pool.
Thank you.
Okay, Chuck Pickerel.
Hello. My name is Chuck Pickerel. I reside at 444 South Harvard Avenue, Villa Park. And of course, I'm here for the pool also. What Mr. King said is absolutely 100% true. I I grew up in this village. I actually took swimming lessons at Lufkin Pool when I was growing up. That's how long ago back was Lufkin Pool. It is something that is definitely a landmark of the town. It's a resource of the town, and it needs to be, I wouldn't say saved, but repaired until an alternate facility is in play to replace it. There's much talk going around about the rec center and the pool attached to that. I was kind of brought some of that up during the election last year, and we were told that the pool was in bad shape, but it would make it a few more years. Obviously, that didn't happen, and we're to the point where we're at now. But I think and I understand the problems with the pool as far as the age and the outdated facilities and not meeting code, but there's got to be a middle ground of the road where we can repair the pool enough to get us through as a bridge gap till the new facility is built and in play. Jefferson Pool is not a large enough facility to accommodate the whole town due to the fact they have the Mariners swim team, and they provide swim lessons in the evenings there for the younger children of Villa Park, and it forces the pool to close down to the general public. And Lufkin kind of made up the slack in that because it was there. I believe that there's many sharp minds in this town that are part of the board and the staff that can find a way to sharpen a pencil and find some funds to repair the pool enough to get us in a stopgap till the new facility is built. I'm all for the new facility, but we can't take away, a perfect example of this is the bridge on Ardmore. How many years that was closed before the money was found to fix that. And, to take something, tear it down, and close it because eventually we're going to replace it is not a way for the village of Villa Park to supply facilities for the residents. And I believe that we can find a way to do this, and I'm sure there's a lot of people here who would jump on a committee or something like that and work with the village to try and find a way of doing it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill Kingsbury.
Hi. Hi, my name is Bill Kingsbury, and as many of you know, I've coached some of your children. I've coached a lot of kids that are in the room right now. I live on 25 East Jackson Street, and I've lived in Villa Park since 1999. I feel I've been a very positive voice for representing the village, for the town, and what we stand for. I'm not from here originally. I transplanted in, so I've seen the other side. I've seen what happens outside of Villa Park. I've been coaching here for a lot of years. I've nearly coached 100 teams in town, so I've been involved. I feel that I can speak for the children of Lufkin Pool, the children who currently go to it and the children who will go to it in the future. I've got 4 children now. 2 go to Willowbrook High School, 1 goes to Albright Middle School, and 1 goes to Swartz. Big thing for me is Lufkin Pool allows children a chance to exercise and to get out and to enjoy things that they normally wouldn't do. Kids today don't have that opportunity. We need to give them that opportunity to do these things. It's very important for us. We need to control obesity, increase life expectancy. While I do see the light at the end of the tunnel that you guys have put forth, I do think that closing Lufkin Pool greatly puts the brakes on the accolades that we've been earning lately with the publications and whatnot, recognizing Villa Park as a village that can be reckoned with and can be a force that we need to recognize with. So that being said, I implore you to find a different solution than to just shut it down. I would really like for us to look together and find a reason to keep it open until we come to a solution on the new rec center. That being said, please look inside yourself, look inside your hearts, and try to keep it open. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Kristen Toshner, or Toshin, excuse me.
Hello, my name's Kristen Toshin. I live at 0S620 Villa Avenue. I have many relatives in the village. I'm standing before you today to encourage the board to reconsider its decision to close Lufkin Pool and to fund the repairs it needs so that it can reopen. We had pool passes this last summer and live close to Lufkin, so we visited it nearly every day. I have 3 kids, aged 7, 5, and 1.5, and Lufkin allows me to go to the pool by myself with my 3 kids and feel comfortable that I can see all of them at once. I cannot go to Jefferson with all 3 kids by myself because my littlest only goes in the toddler pool and the older ones want to go in the larger pool, and I can't see all 3 of them at the same time. The sight lines are not good at Jefferson if you have kids of different ages. So if Lufkin closes, I will not be getting a pool pass because I will not be able to use the pool unless my husband can come, which severely limits our pool visits. With the new facility being likely 10 years away, my 2 oldest will be in high school and out of prime swimming years and will have missed the experience of being able to ride their bikes to the local pool to hang out with friends, as their grandma did and their dad did. Jefferson is just too far from our house. I ask you to reconsider your decision to close Lufkin and to fund the items it needs to be repaired so it can open again. For my family and for all the kids in this room who will miss out on all the pool time if Lufkin closes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Steve Riley.
I'm Steve Riley, 20 Rand Road. I've been a Villa Park resident for 40 years. I'm here as one of the older people to lend my support to all the young families. When my family was young, we used the pool all the time. It's in my backyard. Absolutely love it. You know, the town's getting some great accolades. I want to keep it strong for all these young families, so I'm here to support them. Say, please, reconsider, keep the pool open. Thank you.
Steve Seddon.
Hi. So this came in the mail. Moving forward, it looks very nice design. I've read it more than once, several times actually, but after reading it, it's clear there is no definite plan for a new community pool and/or recreation center. At a village board meeting in November, President Boltis stated that it may be 10 years before we see a new facility, while Trustee Aiello correctly pointed out that any potential funding sources that may appear from retiring debt will not be guaranteed for use on the project. And that's when there actually is a plan for the project. So fix Lufkin. Jefferson alone is not sufficient. Yes, most towns do not have 2 pools. They have 1 pool, such as in Lombard, a pool that is at least 3 times as large as Jefferson. I went to invillapark.com today and checked out the aquatic page and noticed that we have information for 2018 already. For one thing, I see the pool pass price has not gone down. But I noticed with Jefferson, there were these notes. It says, please note, Jefferson Pool will close at 5 p.m. to accommodate Villa Park Mariners home swim meets to be determined. Jefferson Pool will have a delayed opening to accommodate Villa Park Mariners home swim meets to be determined Saturdays. Jefferson Pool will close to be determined on the following days to accommodate evening swim lessons. So Jefferson Pool is going to be busy, very busy. So why keep Lufkin? To quote from the Moving Forward brochure, a lack of exercise and personal interaction has a real, tangible impact on the health and happiness of our community. Thank you.
Anne Marie Testa.
Hi there, you've already got my address, so skipping that part. You know what my memories of Lufkin are from quite some time ago? I remember being in this room attending a board meeting in the spring of 2009. So this is the thing where I've got to project for the room and keep it down for the TV. All right. So the spring of 2009, this room was packed. And you know what the people were asking for? They were asking to pay more for their pool passes. They felt like they weren't paying enough. At the time, in the spring of 2009, an adult individual person, not a senior, not a child, could get a pool pass for the summer for $20. So I have to say, like, what did it cost in 1989? You know, what did it cost in 1969? In 2009, for an individual adult for the summer, it was $20, and seniors got in for $10. So we've resolved that problem. Pool passes are now a little bit more. So that's my memories of Lufkin. And I just want to recap a little bit of a timeline of why we're here today. Back in November, on Friday, you guys published an agenda that had 2 items on it to spend money to make repairs to Lufkin Pool. So the first item was the $25,000 to retain Williams Architects to make significant repairs, which you already, I mean, they were going to oversee the project and do some engineering work, but you already knew what repairs needed to be done and approximately how much those repairs would cost. So the $25,000 was step 1 to make repairs to the pool that would keep it open quite possibly another 8 to 10 years. The second item was to just replace the $440,000 was the price that we were talking about at that time for that item. The second item was $88,000, just get a liner. So the first item, President Bothus, Trustee Kuzone voted yes for, everybody else voted no. The $88,000 liner item, everyone voted no. So then we go to November the 13th. And apparently in this village, there's some sort of unwritten rules. And they go like this. If you take an unpopular vote one week, apparently you guys expect a big crowd the following week, November 13th. Would have been that day. So I had 2 trustees tell me that you guys were expecting a big crowd, but there wasn't anything on the agenda about the pool. And most of the people I know operate under the assumption that everything that's going to be discussed at a meeting appears on the agenda. So a motion was made at that meeting to reconsider the vote on the first item that would have made the bigger repairs. And apparently, seeing no Lufkin Pool supporters in the room, you guys all voted no.
Thank you. Time's up.
Is that the 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Come on.
It really is.
All right.
Well, we got
I'll give my card
we got
to
your
somebody
point.
else.
Next, Amanda Murphy.
You can have my spot.
My name's Amanda Murphy. I live at 636 South Illinois Avenue. Openness, accountability, and honesty define government transparency. In a free society, transparency is government's obligation to share information with its citizens. It is at the heart of how citizens hold their public officials accountable. In regards to Lufkin Pool, your votes in November, which was on or not on the agenda, and very done sort of cloak and dagger, was done for only one reason: to keep us, your citizens, out of the conversation. In surveys done in the past, we, the residents, have expressed the importance of parks and recreation, with the most important item being our pools. Ages 5 to 14 are the largest group who use these resources, and with little to no notice, you vote to eliminate one of the very few amenities that we have here in the summer. We, as parents of the 5 to 14-year-olds, we demand you get your acts together and put our current pools first and actually put effort and money into them so we are not without this amenity. To go for a decade without a decent pool, because Jefferson's not a decent pool, in this town is a real loss for us, the residents. And enough with the plans and the plans for plans. And We need you to realize you've known about this issue that we face with the pools well before the 2013 evaluation, yet our leadership has done little to nothing to take actual action. Take action. Or are you waiting for another wonderful volunteer to bring you a skate park, a playground, more Eagle Scouts, more donations? Ah, yes, positive change on the backs of the volunteers and residents. Do your job, take action to improve our current pools. Then actually get a plan in place, take action. I don't know, maybe get a referendum, maybe get a corporate partnership. Just don't eliminate Lufkin from our current amenities unless you have a replacement that isn't a decade or more away. I leave you with some of my own transparent thoughts. You work for us. You are to oversee the village manager who makes sure that our village workers are doing their jobs. When 2018 rolls around, and those of you who continue to plan with no action taken, you will not get my vote, and I think many of the residents here, especially those here tonight, will agree with me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next person is Jane Husky.
Well, I don't think I need to say much after that. And I think that the signs here speak for themselves, and I think that the majority of like children here, and not majority, there's just a mass amount of kids here, and it's just the age range. There's so many people here. It's not only going to affect the children, it's also going to affect the people who have been able to experience this pool, and that's me. And it's just going to be upsetting because in a decade, my brother is going to be the same age as I am. And lucky for me, I've got to experience this pool, and, you know, a lot of the backdrop of my memories have been at Lufkin, and I learned how to ride my bike, mostly so I could ride to Lufkin. I could be doing something in the summer. I learned how to swim at Lufkin. I helped my brothers learn how to swim at Lufkin, and I don't want my brothers to miss out on that, and I don't want children to miss out on that. I'm just here to say that we should save this pool. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Next one, Genevieve Corkany.
Hello, I'm Genevieve Corkery. I live at 152 North Myrtle Avenue. I've been employed as a lifeguard at the pool for the past 3 summers. It's been a pretty good experience. It was a great first job for me. I could work there when I was 15 with a permit, which is something you don't usually find, so that was really nice. And I know it's the same case with a lot of Willowbrook students. The Lufkin's really close to Willowbrook, and it's an easy it's very accessible for students who live around that area to get to work every day. It's a good opportunity for students who are returning from college who like graduated from Willowbrook can go and work at Lufkin, and it's just we are able to have such a large number of people employed because of both Lufkin and Jefferson are open. So if you were to close Lufkin, that would cut down our lifeguard force in half, which I think is it would be unfortunate for half of my coworkers and teenagers who work at the pool. I can see as a guard that it's important to have both facilities open because Lufkin is very family friendly, where Jefferson is more useful for the swim team and older patrons. But the Lufkin pool is really important for families, and it's important. We get trained at both facilities as well, which not only helps patrons be safe at both pools, but also all the lifeguards get a wide range of experience, so we're more equipped to be prepared in different situations by training in 2 different environments. I think that's important. Yeah, so I would be unfortunate to lose a job, so it employs a lot of teenagers in our town. So I think it's important. Thank you.
Thank you.
the last one I have is Dan Kangle.
Hello, my name is Dan Canale. I live at 39 West Monroe in Villa Park, Illinois. I'm glad that no one's repeated anything so far, and I just want to state it's awesome to see that up there. I don't know how long that took. It sounded like it took about 9 years to get that together. I've been here since 2000. Remember coming to this village? I got my sidewalks replaced that year. I paid my 50%. It got done right away. My streets on Monroe have not been completed until 2017. In 2000, I was told they will be done in 5 years. Since I've been here, I've been told that the streets would be done. Took approximately 17 years. I was told the bridge would be completed. Took approximately 3 to 4 years while it was closed. I was told we were going to get a new library. I was told we were going to get new library improvements. Haven't seen any of it. We're spending money on property that's touching a park. I was told Villa Park likes historical. I live in a 1926 bungalow. I love my bungalow, part of the reason I bought into this town. What happened in this town for historical purposes? We imploded a chimney in Ovaltine that's been standing there and built this town and village. I watched this police station get built, which was the huge eyesore that was supposed to be prairie and now got converted to some modern thing. The prairie was taken away. Everything that keeps getting stated to us is incorrect and not followed through. People need to realize we're not asking for a brand new pool. We're not asking for something brand new. We want something repaired. We want it there for our kids. My son and daughter are here tonight, probably past their bedtime. They just got back from the YMCA in Elmhurst. Why? Because they offer swim lessons. They've been going there for a long time. I've been going to Elmhurst more often than I go to Villa Park. And I spend more money there than I spend here. Why? They have more offerings. Keep that pool here, I'll spend my money at Dairy Queen. Get rid of that pool, I'll spend my money somewhere else where they'll take it, such as Lombard. Thank you.
Okay, Zach Quinn.
Okay, this is my son, Zach Quinn, and we live at 346 East Highland Avenue, and he would like to say something.
I've been going to this pool for a long time, and I just think that, because last summer I went there almost every day, and for you guys to shut it down, I think you should save it. Thank you.
Nancy Conroy.
Hi. Pretty much, I think I recognize that you recognize that we really, really want this pool. But the few things that I didn't hear said is we voted down the $25,000 to evaluate what the true cost of repairing this pool, if I understand that correctly. And I'm thinking that's a real small amount to find out how much we're really facing here. And we don't have any quotes, as far as I have heard, as to if we shut this pool down, what would it cost to make that a decent property? Yeah. I mean, that it may cost more to take that pool out of there than it would cost to limp that pool along for a couple more years, because we have not gotten that information. I also have not heard anything about any evaluation of the efficiencies and the cost of running that pool. How is the staffing? How does it compare to other pools, the hours and such, to see if maybe some of those costs could be cut. So I'm just thinking we made a decision to shut this thing down, and we haven't really done full evaluation of what that pool costs to run, what it would cost to tear it down and make it into a park, or what it would cost to repair it. So I'm thinking I think that we jumped the gun on this and made a decision to close this pool before we know everything. that's the other point I mean is it did seem like we didn't really put it out there for the public to realize that that pool was going to be voted not to open. I even scoured the Village Matters magazine after the decision was made, and I did not even see a mention that this pool was being closed. So I wonder how many more people you might have here if everyone knew that this pool was being closed. I don't think all the citizens even know that. So that's all I had to say, and I hope you do reconsider and evaluate this.
Okay, Mr. President, Steve De La Rosa is our last one.
Okay, I want to go on record as saying that I support Lufkin. I want to go on record as saying that we've heard a lot of items concerning the support for Lufkin. I think what I want to offer is that the studies that have been used to determine the feasibility of continuing Lufkin are incomplete because they don't address immediate versus long-term goals. The study cites them, but then doesn't cite variable bids or numbers from different sources to actually cost out what those things would entail. 2, planning for the maintenance of both pools has not addressed the need for capital repairs over the years. This is not something brand new. We've had those pools 60 years. Where's the capital plan? Where is our budgeting over the years to put 10% or 5% aside to be able to pay for capital repairs? That's a question I ask all of you who have voted for shutting down the pool. 3rd, business and residential needs in this community must be supported. As of today, my perception, and I think others in this room have the perception, that business comes first. Look how fast we got parking for Moore Brewery. Look how fast that occurred. And they took land along the Prairie Path to make more parking for our business. I support the growth of business in Villa Park. But when you say we don't have the money, let's be truthful about where our money is going and how we're allocating it. Yes, we need to support business, but we need to support the needs of the residents as well. The residents make this community, we pay the taxes, we elect officials. Lastly, I want to say, I'm screaming at you because I couldn't hear anything out in the hallway over there. And I got to tell you, I don't think that conforms to the Open Meetings Act. I could be wrong, Ms. Orr. But I believe that the Open Meeting Act entails being able to hear the proceedings within a meeting. So I just want to mention that. And thank you for the time, and let's support Lufkin Pool.
Okay, so that's everyone who signed up to speak. There's a lot of questions there, and I understand them. I understand your concerns, too. Maybe there are a few things that we could clarify a little bit tonight without getting into a back and forth discussion. So unless we have trustees who would like to make any comments, Trustee Al?
Sure, I'll comment. I'm sure you all realize it's not an easy decision for anybody up here. What I didn't hear back from you, though, was a solution. I understand we want stuff. I want stuff, too. I want to keep that pool open. I sat in that pool. We didn't have air conditioning growing up. I went to that pool every day with all my family, my mom, not my dad because he was working, but my mom, my 3 brothers and sisters. We were there every day. That was our air conditioning. But nobody's got a solution. Nobody here tonight got up there and told me, you know what, we've looked at your budget, we've looked at this, we've looked at that, and here's what you all are missing. You're missing the fact that there's some money here available to put that $500,000 into that pool to preserve it, and later on, move along. No, I don't want you to do my job.
Okay, well, you just said we
Ma'am,
are not
ma'am,
we don't
ma'am,
have a solution.
ma'am,
You guys are supposed to come up with a solution.
Ma'am,
That's why we elect
you had your
And-
chance, ma'am. Let Trustee Yellow talk. We
And
didn't
that-
interrupt you.
And that is my solution, is to close it. And I understand that that's a decision that's not a happy decision for everybody. I'm not real excited to be making it, since I sit at the corner of Ardmore and Central. But in my mind, I got to do that. I have to do that. And I appreciate that that's not what everyone sitting in this room wants. I can't change my mind on that. And I'm disappointed that I can't make you happy. I don't know how to otherwise do it. So as bad as that's going to feel, that would be where I would go. And I will do my best to fix that going forward. Whether I'll ever be able to fix it or not, you know what? There's a lot of bad roads that were really bad for a long time. This board has gotten that, made it a better place with those roads. Can we get to the point where you get what you want with a pool? I hope I can do that. I will work to do that, assuming you let me. So that's all I have to say.
Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, President Poltis. I just want to say a couple things just to correct some statements that I think were made incorrectly. I don't think there was any effort on the part of staff or the board to not be transparent. The issue with the conditions of the pools has been well known for a long time. Our board depends on a Park and Recreation Advisory Commission to provide us input, and we received a communication from them, a unanimous communication from them that recommended not repairing the pool. There's been discussions about the pools, the conditions of the pools. They're 60 years old. One thing I do want to correct is the motion to reconsider did not go down unanimously. It was voted 4-3. And there also was an effort by many people prior to the November 6th meeting, to let people know that the issue was going to come to the board. So there was no effort to conceal or to not be transparent. I've raised the question with the village manager, is there even a possibility to reconsider our vote? And I've been told that may not be possible with this current board. So I completely understand people's disappointment with their connection to the pool. I mean, I live in Southwest Villa Park. We've used the pool when my kids were growing up. I understand your disappointment. But at this point, I'm not sure how we move forward to resurrect the pool, if you will.
Reconsider the liner.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Anyone else? Trustee Yellow?
One more thing. Where I do think we failed you, and I'll have to acknowledge that to you, is that pamphlet you got, that should have gone to you before we voted.
Why didn't it?
It didn't occur to anybody, I'm guessing, that, you know, when I,
All right.
well,
Okay. Trustee Yellow.
we're imperfect.
All right.
Showed up here to talk, though.
Yeah, well, you all had a chance to sign in, so Manager Keener maybe have some numbers that you asked about, that we can help verify a little bit, especially with demolition and stuff like that.
Can I say one thing?
Oh, sure.
Before you guys judge us, you guys did have a chance to talk about the pool. So you did know beforehand that this was coming down the pipe. So please don't accuse us of not being transparent. It was in here. It was in here. Yes, it was here. It was in the thing. You had, okay, you had a chance. Yeah, there was a meeting January 14th, 2015. February 17th, 2015. We discussed the pools. That was part of the discussion when we put the master plan out for the Park and Recs. It was part of the discussion to open it up. You can pull out the account here that there is a plan in effect, that there was a plan started on the pool on Talking. Okay, it was brought up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We can't have everybody yelling out.
Okay, on the statement of the plan, the first thing that the majority of people did on the survey is mention that you wanted a recreational center set up. Second priority was you wanted an aqua center connected to that recreational center. Okay? So there was a plan started in 2015. Okay? I understand that you guys are upset that you feel that, but when you're saying there's no plan in effect, there was a plan started. There was a plan started on this.
All right.
Yes. There is a work on the plan. There is a money.
All right. All right.
There's always been that issue since, you're right. The money hasn't been an issue since we started how long ago?
Okay. Let's take your time here. So, the demolition figure was about 70,000?
Your Honor, 77,000.
70,000. So, liner was almost 90,000. But, wait.
With no
Wait.
bids.
Okay. There's a lot more things that needed to be evaluated. That was what the 25,000 was for. The estimate was at least $500,000 to bring it up to code. Wait. We're not. We went through this about 8 years ago. We almost closed the pool at that time. The board did, and it was decided that we would keep it open as long as we could. But even if we spend $500,000 now, the bowl itself is not going to last that much longer. So we've had our time. I think if.
But if you knew this 8 years ago, where's the money that's been set aside for the last 8 years?
But I don't want to go through government financing. Government financing doesn't work that way.
You never appropriated.
We got
road.
Okay.
You had somewhere for our kids to go.
Wait. We can't have this back and forth. We can't have it. So, I would like to. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Trustee Case, make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Do we have a second?
Excuse me, sir, don't say we don't care, right?
Yeah.
It comes down to
Okay.
safety for your kids and everybody else.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Find the Lufkin
Do we have a
family,
second?
Present a lawsuit to the attorney.
Do we
and
have
let's see what the Lufkin family wishes were.
Do we have a second to adjourn?
I'll second.
Trustee Seal.
When's the
Roll
next
call
meeting?
vote.
Okay, Trustee
What's that
Wagner.
This is to adjourn. That was a great presentation, something like that.
No.
Trustee Aiello.
No.
Trustee Tucker.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Trustee Silella.
Yes.
Trustee Kazone.
Yes.
President Bolfus.
Yes. With that, we're adjourned. We'll be back on January 22nd, 7 o'clock.